All right, so last time we drew this chair seat with a little cutout for your booty cheeks. So now our chair needs legs. So today that's what we're doing, is drawing some legs. So I want my legs to have some kind of shape to them, and I want them to be a little bit longer than 18 inches, because once we put the legs with the chair, they're going to splay out. So they're going to splay towards us and then out to the side. And so since that's moving on a diagonal, that's going to be longer than 18 inches if it was just a straight shot from the seat to the ground. So I think I'm going to go 18 and a half. And to decide on the shape, I'm going to start with a rectangle to draw on. So I think I want my legs to be about 1.25 inches wide, and then we'll say 18 and a half long. All right, so this will give me something to draw my shape on. That seems a little skinny, a little too skinny, so maybe I'm going to move this over 1/2 inch. So 0.5. Yeah, so 1.5 inches. That feels a little bit better. All right, so at the top here, I think, let's find the center here, and then we'll go 0.5 over. So I'm just going to draw a line here just as a layout line. That'll give me the top. And then down here at the bottom, I think maybe we will shoot for 5/8 of an inch. So I shouldn't have deleted my center line there. So let's go 5/16 inch over, and L for the line tool just to give me a mark. All right, and I'm going to add a line here for the center line. All right, so I'm going to make this a group. All right, so now for our shape, I'm going to use an extension by Fredo 6, the Bezier spline. He has a paid version and a free version. Today I'm going to use the free version. I use this extension a lot, so I just have a shortcut Shift B assigned to it. So I want a bigger surface to draw on here. So I'm just going to copy this line over. All right, so now Shift B. All right, click there. Go down here, click. All right, so now a bit of a taper here. So double click to release it. And so it's still active, so I can still, whoops, I hit the space bar to deactivate it, but I can right click, go down here, edit Bezier curve. Then I can click and drag these dots around to create the shape that I want. And this is a lot how I design things. I just keep kind of messing with it until I start to see a shape that I really like, and then I'll lock that shape in. All right, so I think I'm liking that guy. So I'm going to delete that. Oh, no, wait. We need to make sure we maintain the center. So L for the line tool. Let's draw in a face here. So now I can delete that. All right, and there's half our center line there. All right. Use the follow me tool. All right, there's our leg. Got some weird geometry going on there, so we'll just soften and smooth that. Whoops. So whenever you have a lot of segments like that and you go to soften and smooth and only soften and smooth a section of it, there's another extension here. I don't remember what this one's called. It's called Select Curves. All right, so I'm going to click that guy and it'll select that whole line. If you use just a normal selection tool, this guy, it's only going to select the little segments. But if you use this guy, Select Curves, you can select the whole thing, and then I'm going to weld it. So I have a shortcut key W to weld it. So now when I use this guy and select it, it'll select that whole curve. So then when I hit E for the erase tool and go to soften and smooth, it'll smooth it over, smooth the whole thing over. All right, so now that we have our leg drawn in there, we need to position it. So I'm going to position it just like how a chair maker would position it in the shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a couple of numbers that are similar to what I've seen other chair makers use. So there's no point in reinventing the wheel here. So I'm going to just come along here, 2.5 inches in. I'm going to come down 2.5 inches in, and I think this was 1 inch, right? So grab our circle tool. So that'll just mark our center spot there. Do that again. All right, and then for our back arch here, see if I can find the center. Go over 4 3/4. And we'll say 3 1/4 in. All right, so there is where our legs are going to go. This seems too close to the edge. All right, there we go. Okay. So now I'm going to rotate this guy, and this will be one of our sight lines here for sighting down. So we'll say 38 in or 38 degrees. All right, we'll make this a component. All right, so we'll get our legs positioned here. Hide these guys. So for our back legs, from here to here, let's get rid of this stuff. I'm just going to make this a group for right now. And then these guys, we'll call this 65. And we'll make that a group just so it's not so messy. All right, and get rid of our guidelines. All right, so now that we got our legs in place, we need to splay them out accordingly. So I'm gonna right click and hide this top for a minute. All right, so now this line that I drew across there is going across the center of the leg. So I'm going to select my leg and I'm going to hit Q to rotate. And our line here, I think that was 38 degrees. I'm going to line it up with that. So this line right here. And then I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees. So now this line is 90 degrees to our 38 degree line. And a lot of stick chairs have a splay on the front leg of about 16 degrees. So I'm going to hit Q to rotate again, and I'm going to go right here and snap on that, and then I'm just going to drag along this line that's perpendicular to our 38-degree line, and that is lining my protractor up with this line right here. So now I can click here and I can swing that out, and we'll swing it out 16 degrees. And then we're going to go over here to this guy and do the same thing. So I'm going to select my leg, Q to rotate. We're going to rotate our layout line here till we snap to our 38-degree line, and then we will swing that out 90 degrees. So that way I can click and drag on this guy and then swing our leg out 16 degrees. All right, we're going to do the same thing for the back leg, but the back leg is going to have a little bit different angle. The back leg, those legs are going to swing out towards the back 26 degrees, so that way your chair leans back a little bit. All right, so let's go over here. Q to rotate, and we want to rotate it to this line right here. This is our, I can't remember what degree that was, our 65-degree angle. All right, and then we'll spin it out 90 degrees. All right, so now I can click and drag. Oops, let's try again. Click and drag on that guy, and then swing it out 26 degrees. All right, and then this guy, Q to rotate to our layout line, and then we are going to rotate it back out 90 degrees and click and drag right there and swing that out 26 degrees. All right, so I don't think we need these guys anymore. Go in here, and I don't think we need that center line anymore. I'm going to weld that circle, and we're going to extend it up here just a little ways. Soften and smooth that. Soften and whoops. Soften and smooth that. All right, let's unhide our seat. All right, so there we go. Now we have our legs in place at the proper splayed out angles. So in the next video, we will talk about how to drill those holes. If you're building this chair in your shop, you would basically line your drill bit up with these legs, and at these angles using those same layout lines that we had, and drill through. But since we're using Sketchup, we're going to use a little bit different technique. We're going to use a tool called Solid Tools that comes with Sketchup Pro.